Here we go.
I'm good right here.
That's not this type of show.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Jason Show. It's a fabulous Tuesday. I'm
Yes,
Kendall
it
Mark,
is.
joined by
Hobie Artigue in for Jason today, trying to fill in the shoes for a second straight day. I'm glad they let us back at least.
I'm seriously like
Surprised?
I'm a little surprised. Yeah, I'm very excited. I'm very humbled.
Yes.
But also,
We have been invited back for a second
thank
day.
you. Don't
Thank
screw
you.
it up, Jason.
We
by the
actually
way-
did have a live studio audience temporarily with Keith Marler.
Yeah, Keith Marler was watching and eating
Yeah.
one of those delicious brats from the Buzz.
Thank you
And
for
he's-
bringing
he's
some,
still
Keith.
watching over
Appreciate
there.
it.
Other than that,
Yeah!
a little bit quieter in here today just because we
A little
don't have
bit.
an audience today. But one thing I wanted to talk to you about before we get into all of this that we
Okay.
have going on today. These pencils that Jason has are very
Yes.
important to him.
Okay.
And when you take your mangy paws and write your name on his very nice Formica desk, I feel like we're going to have an issue.
You know what? That's why there's an eraser. That's why you can just.
Jason,
We have
I didn't do it.
liquids in this cup.
That's all
that
I
we
want to
can-
say. That's all I
I
have
put
to
my
say.
name on it and then I erased it.
Okay.
By the way, did you notice how bendy these pencils are?
Oh my word.
Look
Okay.
at that.
So have you ever been in a car with someone? I could see this happening to us where you just would do anything to get out of the car with them?
I was probably that person that you were trying to get out of the car
Okay.
with.
Well, clearly this happens to people, and it's not just us.
Okay.
But kids were driving around in Florida. This family was driving, and one of the brothers was arrested because he stabbed his brother in the arm with
Yep.
a pocket knife multiple times. And when the police came, were talking to him, he was like 13 years old. He
Yep.
was like, I'd rather spend time in jail than 8 hours in the car with my brother.
Boom. That is. But how serious is this? How much?
Like, what?
How much pain is this person causing you, where you just decide to stab him in the arm?
Well, and
he
like,
said
what-
that his brother was teasing him, correct?
Well, I mean, but what? Okay,
But at
hey,
what point does it process in your mind? I'm gonna stab my brother while we're
so I can go to
driving around.
jail. I'd rather spend time in jail. And like, mom and dad, what 13-year-old has just a pocket knife?
Just sitting on the car ride. Yeah.
I mean, Lord, only in Florida. I bet
Well,
the car
they're
was
from
really
Tennessee
hot.
too.
Oh yeah, I bet the car was hot. You know, because when the car is hot, crazy things can happen. You
Clearly.
know what I'm saying?
Clearly.
Know what I'm saying? All right. Well, okay. If any of you have had this issue, let us know. Follow us on Twitter. Tweet at us. If you've ever accidentally stabbed someone in the car because you just would rather go to jail than be in the car with them.
I can't say. At least I hope there aren't too many people like that.
PSA, don't do that. All right. Get your spoons. We've got two.
There
It's
we
time
go.
now for the hot dish. Nom, 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 nom. Look at that. I can
That's
scoop.
very animated. I like
Good
that.
scooper. All right. Hey, it was an emotional return to TV for one of your favorite talk hosts, Miss Wendy Williams.
Yeah, after 5 weeks off, Wendy came back to her show yesterday, bursting into tears actually several times and revealing the truth about her love life.
Here's me and Mark running around town. You're all thinking I'm messing around with a 27-year-old. 27-year-old boys, quite frankly, do find me very attractive. But when it comes time for the comfort of a man, I need somebody in his 50s too. And he's got to work. It helps that he's a doctor. I am not going to say one more word. You're not going to blow this for me. Say, you're not gonna blow this for me. But
Well, as you saw, Wendy obviously denied. Yes, thank you. That's Hobie's impression of Wendy's open there. Reports that she was dating a 27-year-old guy, and she instead revealed she's in a relationship with a doctor in his 50s. This comes as she continues to go through a divorce from her husband. Now, Wendy also revealed she is, I think it's edema? Okay, I thought so. Edema, which is, I've learned, swelling caused by excess fluid in the body. So she'd been, different people had
What
come
a
out
return, by the way.
Right, and she'd come out with all these photos that come out of her with swelling in her ankles, and these paparazzi were basically like making fun of her, and that's why she said, "Hey, I'm struggling with something right now, and so y'all can just go home."
She has a lot going on in her personal life, clearly, and just because, and it seems like people would pick at her about any little thing, and just the fact that she's returning and maybe a little dramatic, but you know what?
That's
She's
Wendy.
back on television. That's who she is. It seems like she's slowly becoming herself once more. And you
And
know what? Good for her.
The hair, The new long blonde do? Like, what do men think when women's hair is like a normal length and then the next day it's super long? Do you all like think about that at all?
If it's something that drastic, then
like does that? Yeah, I mean, does it really cross your mind?
And it'll cross my mind if like it's just a shortcut. It's like something's a little bit different. But if it's something like this to that, then of course.
All right. Well, if you do not know this, Wendy also airs at noon on Fox 9. You can watch it right here. Pretty good show.
All right.
Like it.
Next in the dish, major drama last night on The Bachelorette.
Now, hey.
What else is new?
Hey guys. If you're still sitting in your DVR and you're not watching it yet, here's your warning.
Ooh.
Yeah, you heard it. Spoiler alert. We don't need the emails. Ted's not here, so I'm going to take the reins.
Go ahead.
This is my moment. Okay.
The desk is yours.
It's down to the final 4 guys as the Bachelorette Hannah met their families for the first time on their hometown dates. They do this once they get to the final 4. And she got some resistance from Jed, a pretty front runner from his mom. Take a look.
And I know Jed's just another guy.
But he's not.
You are the Bachelorette.
Yeah.
And he is one of the guys.
I've told your son that I'm falling in love with him.
But I'm like, do you say that to all of them?
No, I don't. I haven't said it to anybody else. Really? So.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Ooh, mama.
That's a good mama right there.
Yeah, she doesn't seem all too convinced that Hannah's only in love with her son and only said it to her son. But that's not even the real drama. The real drama came when Hannah had to send one of the guys home. Again, turn
Spoiler
us
alert.
off if you haven't watched. Let's take.
I'm so confused. Every decision that I've made to this point, I've known that my heart was completely ready, and I can't do that. I can't. And so, I can't give out a final rose.
Hannah, the roses you asked for.
I want to continue on with all of you.
Oh.
Well, okay. So all 4 guys are going to stay on until next week. They usually have only ever just taken 3 to these fantasy suites that they go to, and this season is to Greece. Now,
I just love the little rose presentation.
Yeah,
Here's the
Chris
rose
Harrison.
you requested.
But I mean, I think the best part of all of this, now if you're a fan, you know that none of them like Luke P. He was the blonde one with the scraggles right here. He's the one that people are not really into. The guys are not into. When she was down to the final 2 and the final rose, the 3 guys that are all friends like removed themselves from the situation. We're like, yeah, bro, you got it. Don't worry. Well, Luke P sat there like this. And they were all like, yeah, I don't know what she sees in him. And the guy's just sitting right there the whole time. And it was hilarious. So the real drama is going to be
Is that against the rules, though?
Nothing's really against the rules anymore.
So you make your own rules as you go.
It's kind of become like that.
Okay.
But the real drama is going to be next week when Jed finally says to her, the guy whose mom was like, no. He's the one that she was debating around, and he's like, how are you comparing me to this weirdo, like, jerk that's been horrible this whole season? Girl, it's drama.
Clearly. Clearly. And I guess that's why more episodes keep going and going and going. So the drama
Aren't you happy
keeps
you're
building.
getting married so you never have to be on The Bachelor?
My mom would have things to say to me if I was going on The Bachelorette. Man.
She would have things to say.
She would.
All right, enough with The Bachelor. Next in the dish, we're getting a new look at the Renee Zellweger movie where she's taking on the role of legendary screen siren Judy Garland.
Yeah, it should be pretty good. The first official trailer for the movie Judy came out yesterday, and here's a little piece of it.
Somewhere you need to take better care of yourself. You understand?
Over the rainbow. Everybody has their troubles. And I've had mine. I just want what everybody wants. I just seem to have a harder time getting it.
Do you take anything for depression?
4 husbands. Didn't work. There's a land that
You won't forget me, will you?
once in a land. Promise you won't.
The kids need a home, Judy.
I know what kids need.
Wow, the movie follows Judy Garland's sold-out concert run in London near the end of her life. Zellweger sings all of Garland's classic songs in the movie, too.
Wow. All I gotta say,
that looks really good.
It does look really good. We saw one of the promos come out, I think it was around May, that we showed everybody at home too. And this one is a much longer version. It really,
the teaser and then the expanded look.
Right, and it really she's impressive.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think so many people, you hear Somewhere Over the Rainbow is the song, and everyone, when you think Judy Garland, well, you think Dorothy, Wizard of Oz, but beyond that, I know for people like myself, that's the biggest thing that you know about Judy Garland, but maybe a few more details about her life. And I think that this is really going to take people by surprise.
Yeah, this is a much older period of her life where she's struggling, and you see the glitz and the glamour, as you saw in the preview.
Kind of fade away.
But you also see the struggle at home.
Sure.
So it's going to be a good one. Judy opens in September, and I mean, I'm going to watch it.
I would see it today.
I'm going to watch it.
Much more to come today on The Jason Show, too.
We'll be right back, folks.
Today on The Jason Show, protecting your hard work in the garden. Mosquitoes and Japanese beetles can cause major problems this time of year. Garden guy Dale Case shows us what we can do, and he's answering your gardening questions. Plus, school may be out, but you need to send a lunch with your kids to camp. Lindsay Genslow is back with some simple and delicious meal prep ideas your kids will love. Pour another cup of coffee. The Jason Show will be right back.
Gwen Stefani has a residency in Las Vegas, an extended residency at the Zappos Theater. She's there doing shows until November 2nd, and we got word that she was in need of dancers for the show. It's a big production. It requires big talent, and when the notice went out, we sent in the biggest little ball of talent we know to try out to be part of the Just a Girl tour.
Okay, wait a minute. Number 11, what exactly are you doing?
I'm dancing like no one is watching.
Okay, you should start dancing like everyone's watching.
Oh, that's a good tip.
That right there. Our late night rewind. Jimmy Kimmel sends, of course, his sidekick Guillermo to Las Vegas to be a backup dancer for Gwen Stefani. And as you can see, he actually ended up playing a dancing banana in one of her shows. Because why not? A-N-A-N-A-S. Guillermo is bananas. Man, welcome back. More late night now. Jimmy Kimmel is the only host back from summer break last night and talked about the two recent earthquakes in Los Angeles. Take a look.
You know what you do when there's a big earthquake? You have to get your phone out and start rolling cameras. Big one was swimming pools. There were a lot of videos of swimming pools. And you can see that's a terrifying situation right there. This pool had like a mini tsunami. And is that one of those little fans she's holding up in the air? I don't know what. The local news, too. They were even live on the local news.
Experiencing very strong shaking. I think we need to get under the desk.
And no, that doesn't look good, does it?
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, man. Kimmel, by the way, said he didn't feel either one of those earthquakes. But the final clip, the pools are cool to see, but that final clip, really?
Oh man,
It's serious
but that
stuff,
was
I guess.
When I was a kid, I would take things way too seriously. Like they taught us to do fire drills at home when you're in elementary school.
Sure.
And I straight up climbed out of the window because it was part of the drill was they had to practice. And my mom lost her mind.
Please tell me it was a one-story.
No, it was like in my bedroom on the second story of the house. I climbed out the window because like that's what they said to do when it happens.
I learned it in school.
Yeah, and so I would be the one that's like, they told us we need to go.
But also in LA, these are the same people that would wear parkas whenever it's like 55 degrees and there's a cool front coming in.
I mean, it's just, it's always sunny there, right? Or is that Philadelphia?
You stole my line.
All right, next to the dish. It seems a lot of people spent their long holiday weekend watching Netflix.
Thank you for calling me out for a second straight day, by the way.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
The streaming site just released viewing numbers for season 3 of Stranger Things, and they're huge. Now, Netflix says more than 40 million people watched at least some of the new season between its premiere on July 4th and Sunday. That's a new record for Netflix.
Wow.
More than 18 million users already finished the new season. Like Hobie.
I did, yeah. I'm glad I'm not alone because maybe now I don't feel so bad.
You and 18 million.
You know what I did too? I did enjoy it outside. I put it on the iPad, brought it outside, watched it outside. So I could kind of enjoy both the weather and a new show.
Wow, that's next level. You're like those kids that Jordan's always like, when we have kids, they're not going to be sitting outside with their iPads, but Hobie on the other hand.
Wow. Calling me a giant child, thank you.
Well, if the shoe fits, Hobe.
Wow.
Take it away.
All right, next in the dish, Angelina Jolie is returning to her evil ways in the sequel to Maleficent.
All right, this time she's facing a new foe, Michelle Pfeiffer. Take a look.
Maleficent is a threat to everyone. We'll do our best to protect you. Well, well. One can never be too careful.
This isn't you.
You do not know me.
Okay, this is how it works. Jolie's Maleficent battles Pfeiffer's queen for control of Princess Aurora in the first trailer for Maleficent, Mistress of Evil. Now, it opens up in October, but you're watching right now. It's kind of the spin, the twist that's at the end of the preview. When we were watching it, it was like,
She's not the only fairy with giant, massive horns.
With horns. Did you see the first one?
I saw bits and pieces of it. I turned it on one time.
Okay.
It was pretty entertaining, but this looks like if Disney and Game of Thrones
made a
met,
baby.
And this is
their baby. Yeah. I mean, I try. But no, it really does look really, really good.
It really does.
I really
the special
like it.
effects look great, and it looks like it's going to take off right from where the first one ended.
Totally. Well, we're both. I mean, we're into like movies. We're gonna go see. We're gonna see that in October or September, and then we're gonna go see Judy in September, which means it's backwards. We're gonna time travel.
Okay.
I don't know. Where's Jason?
Good luck on figuring that out.
All right, only a few days to go until my co-host here walks down the aisle. So after the break, I know, it's a surprise to you. Yeah. We'll look back at some of the best wedding moments in movies to get you all in the mood for summer wedding season.
Stay with us. You're watching The Jason Show right here on Fox 9.
Are you gonna be all right, sweetie?
It's gonna be a piece of cake, Bryn.
Ginny, I'm really happy for you. I'm sorry for being kind of a jerk lately.
That's really lovely, Sam.
I know you'll have a great marriage.
Ginny! Oh goodness, if you didn't know, that's that memorable scene from the 80s teen movie classic 16 Candles when Molly Ringwald's character's older sister takes one too many muscle relaxers before her big day and just sort of falls herself down the aisle. All right, welcome back. It's our last day with Hobie today since, he's getting hitched over the weekend.
Yes, and weddings are a popular plot line in many movies from The Hangover and Wedding Crashers. Hopefully my wedding doesn't end up like either one of those. To Princess Bride and 27 Dresses. So we thought it would be fun to look back at some classic wedding movie moments in honor of wedding season. First up, a clip from 1991.
And this is fabulous.
Oh, that is incredible. Annie, that's just like the one we saw in the magazine.
Do you like it, Dad?
Well, what is that? Is that dollars? $1,200?
Believe me, Master Banks, this is a very reasonable price for a cake of this magnitude.
A cake, Frank, is made of flour and water. My first car didn't cost $1,200.
Who, of course, course, can forget the great Martin Short as Frank, the wedding planner with Steve Martin and father of the bride.
Oh, man. My dad watched that movie before my wedding.
Yeah?
It's like to prep for it.
Is that like on a checklist? Like, was he watching and taking notes the entire time?
I don't know. My mom told me, she texted me that night and was like, your father's watching Father of the Bride right now.
Just an anticipation for what's
I think
about
he
to
needed
happen.
a little humor in what was, you know, a very
Stressful.
stressful week. All right, next up, it's a movie from 2003.
All you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love.
Oh, that's the holiday classic Love Actually, featuring a flash mob moments after the ceremony. That's so sweet.
And apparently some people have reenacted that.
I don't know how you
Can
could,
you
like-
imagine the planning that goes in? Who sneaks instruments into a church?
Like, I'm gonna be honest, I think that'd be really cool, but I'd also be like, this is my day.
Yeah, but then you're stressing about, well, did Frank bring
Did
the
he
saxophone?
tune it?
Is it correct?
Ah!
I don't need another thing like that on my plate. Well, the next movie has so many memorable scenes, but most kind of aren't appropriate for daytime TV. But here's one we can actually show.
I'm excited and I feel relaxed and I'm ready to party with the best of them. And I'm gonna go down to the river.
That's, of course, Kristen Wiig in Bridesmaids from 2011, a movie she also co-wrote.
Gosh, who doesn't know that? There's a woman on the wing. She's churning butter, dressed in colonial garb. So good. All right, finally, Julia Roberts played a bride in Steel Magnolias and Runaway Bride, but who can forget this scene from another one of her movies?
I love you. I've loved you for 9 years. I've just been too arrogant and scared to realize it. And, well, now I'm just scared. So I realize this comes at a very inopportune time, but I really have this gigantic favor to ask of you. Choose me. Marry me. Let me make you happy.
That's Julia telling her best friend not to marry his fiance in My Best Friend's Wedding. It's from 1997. It's, gosh, really inopportune timing there. Really, she used the right word on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I wonder how often that actually does happen. If
know.
if that ever happens.
I don't
Oh,
know.
they asked-
None of my guy friends were like, please don't marry him, marry me. So,
well, gardening, marriage, and apparently gardening too, they're both hard work. And you definitely don't want pests to destroy what you just planted. Oh no, after the break, garden guy Dale K is here with the best ways to do battle with the mosquitoes and the Japanese beetles in your garden.
I hate those things. And later, easy meal prep ideas to send your kids to camp with. Stick around, folks.
But seriously,
I know.
if there's anyone who thinks it smells very outdoorsy right here.
It's like a Dale K sandwich. And it's like, I feel
You're so special.
Well, it's peak gardening season right now as we all start to enjoy the bounty from our home gardens. At least that's what one can hope for.
Yeah, you'd hope so. But some hungry pests could be causing damage to all of your hard work. Hello. Here to help us keep the bugs from causing problems in our garden is our garden guy, Dale K. Good morning.
good morning to you guys.
Yeah,
It
I kind
does
of feel like a
smell really
pest in
good.
the garden right
You're kind of
now
like
because
amongst the flowers.
Amongst
So there's really
foliage.
kind of two big pests. One,
Yes.
of course, affects us.
Right.
Really not the plants. And then the other one is really devastating to home gardens. So let's start with the mosquito and how we can control that, because we go to all that hard work, planting in the spring, and then at this time of year, you want to enjoy your garden, relax, and sit outside, right? So these mosquitoes are, they're a problem in Minnesota. We know that, but there are actually some plants that you can plant in your garden that will actually repel and keep them away, and they're very effective. And if you were to look up Mr. Google and look up mosquito repelling plants,
Mr. Google.
you come across 30, 50 yada you, right?
Right.
But there is some really better ones out of that whole group. So
Okay.
we'll take a peek at those right now, and a lot of them you'll find commonly in our herb gardens, particularly, and really the best one is just your ordinary old sweet basil. This does a very good job of not only repelling mosquitoes, but repelling all sorts of critters.
And it smells so good.
It smells good to us, not attractive to them. Another good one, which is a great one that I like to roll around with, is rosemary. A really pungent fragrance, but the essence of rosemary is a great repellent for mosquitoes.
Really?
As is mint. All the mints are great. And another great little secret herb that's really good at repelling mosquitoes is lemon balm. And if you were to kind of
that smells
it
fantastic.
kind of smells lemony, but that essence really
Well, these are all things you
it.
can also use in the home too if you want to do some cooking too.
Exactly. So double benefits there. The citronella grass is where obviously citronella is derived from. That is also a very good one. Better crush than just its aromatics. The humble marigold, particularly the African marigolds, are super good at repelling mosquitoes. And then there's all the plants that mimic citronella, like all your pelargoniums or geraniums. You can get apple and spearmint, all types of pelargoniums, but this one here is citronella, also very good. And then lastly, or two other good ones, is lavender. Lavender is another great one. And then all your garlic or your alliums are really good at repelling mosquitoes. And you also get this wonderful little pom-pom like firework flower on the allium that kind of floats in the breeze. It's really, really cool.
So how many of these would you need to truly repel?
Well, I like to, every night I just go roll around in my garden, right? Because I got these all over. But what you can do is you can containerize a lot of these and pop them around where you're in your seating areas and where folks are going to hang out. So putting about maybe 4 or 5 and maybe 3 or 4 of these around your patio, deck, outdoor living spaces, that will do the trick, and it does a great job. A couple of other things that also will do good at repelling them is this little trick here. This is sodium chloride, yeast, and sucrose. You hang this in your trees, add some water, hang that in your trees. That does a great job of repelling mosquitoes as well. Then there is, of course, the Japanese beetle. And
this is the one that it drives me crazy.
It devastates
kills
gardens.
my roses.
There it is on your screen. And these guys love doing 2 things. One is mating, reproducing. The other one is eating. And they have about 300 plants that they just love. Roses, hibiscus are some of their favorites, as well as birch trees and linden trees. And that damage that you're seeing there, that lacing of the linden tree there, that can be devastating for trees, because you never like to have trees going into winter or your plants going into winter stressed, and that's what they'll do. So there are some ways to control them. They've been around since about 1917. They did originate, or they are found native in Japan, hence the name Japanese beetle. But they've been kind of marching across the eastern seaboard for quite some time now. And really, in this neck of the woods, we've been lucky because we get so cold here that they haven't really been here that long. But in their first initial stages, in their first years anywhere, they do cause.
They're pretty invasive. They're pretty awful.
They are a trouble. This year, a little bit later, I think, it's because of the lack of snow cover, and we were quite cool for so long. But some ways to control them.
Yes.
Number one is, if you got veggies and you don't want to spray, just having some bug netting, just like this, is a really good idea. Keeps them at bay and allows your plants to grow and allows you to protect your plants without spraying. There are Japanese beetle traps that you can deploy.
That is a nifty device.
This has a pheromone contained in the bag. It attracts them. You just want to keep this away from any of your desirable plants.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask, because we had those and we made the mistake of putting it too close
and then,
to the plant.
Right, so kind of put it a little bit further away. Milky Spore is a great product for your lawn. The grubs overwinter there in your lawn. This is a biological control that will kill the grub. And then finally, if you do need to spray your plants, there is a product called BioNeem, or this neem oil. This is also a biological control and does a pretty good job of killing the adult beetle, which is they're approaching that life cycle.
Okay,
right now.
all right. I want to talk about this when we come back from break. We are going to have Dale sticking around because you all had some questions for him to answer. You posted them on the Jason Show Facebook page. Stick around because he's going to answer those and tell me what's going on with this.
It's lemonade. You drink it. Chuck it. More to come out.
Welcome back, everybody. We are back here with Garden Guy Dale K, and it's time for him to answer your questions. But before we jump into that, I really do want to know what this is.
So the other bug that kind of gets at us are wasps, and we're approaching that wasp season. So what you can do is deploy this wonderful little wasp trap.
It's beautiful.
It's decorative, but what you do is you fill this with something kind of sticky, sweet, syrupy, and the wasps are attracted into here. They're not that smart, and they just can't figure out how to get out. And this is where they stay, like in the genie bottle.
Oh, I love that it looks nice.
Then you just leave the cap off?
Then you can just leave. It has a little hole in the bottom too, so they'll come in through the bottom.
Okay.
And through the top, there's a reservoir in there where your sticky favorite summer liquid goes. And Bob's your uncle that attracts the wasps.
Bob's your uncle. All right. The sayings are great that you come out
with.
All right. Sorry.
All right. Well,
Sorry,
we've
back to the
received
questions.
many great questions on the Jason Show TV Facebook page. First up, Dale, Michelle asks, can I trim my tomato plants because they are getting so tall right now?
Okay, that's an age-old question. Do I prune my tomatoes? Do I not prune my tomatoes? And really it depends. There's really two different types of tomatoes. There's determinate tomatoes, and then there's also indeterminate tomatoes.
Okay.
And the determinate ones are they stay compact, and they just kind of bloom, they bloom and then they fruit. Then there's indeterminate, which kind of those ones that really grow tall, and they're the ones that need staking, and they're the ones that most people want to kind of prune. I don't prune because you want as much fruit and as much flowers as possible. You just require a little bit of staking. So having some ties like this is really beneficial. And then if you're concerned or confused about, as I get into my happy bag, there's my tomato seeds. Oh, here we go.
Oh, they're attached to it. Nice.
In your hand.
Ta-da! Tomato seeds on the back. We probably won't be able to get a shot of that, but on all seed packets, it'll list whether they're indeterminate or determinate, and that's where you'll know if they need a cage or staking. But you can prune, but I don't.
So don't prune, get the right goods. Okay. Carrie asks, my hibiscus has yellow leaves. I read it can be overwatering or underwatering. How can I tell which it is?
It could be, and that's usually cultural, and it can be more than just overwatering or underwatering. It can be sun. It can be the amount of light that the plant gets. They are an evergreen, so they will naturally just have some yellowing leaves. More than likely, it starts out as maybe not enough water, and then you water it, or you see it. Maybe you see a yellow leaf, and then you water it, and then there's this process called loving to death. So you see a yellow leaf and you start thinking it's dry, so you water and water and water. This whole thing kind of compounds. Nutrition will also play a factor as well. So fertilize your hibiscus. There's a great fertilizer, hibiscus fertilizer in that bag there. And then also a handy moisture meter, just like this one. If you can't second guess or confused about watering, a little moisture meter like this will actually help determine if your plant needs water, because oftentimes overwatering is more detrimental and will accelerate that yellowing on hibiscus, and that's the hibiscus plant food right there. This is absolutely unbelievable stuff. If I was yellowing, I would take this.
I like it. I'm like, oh gosh, this thing tells you it's like idiot proof over here.
Next up, Kristen wants to know, is it too late in the summer to plant perennial shrubs or flowers?
Not too late. You can plant really all through the growing season. Here's my criteria. When the frost comes out of the ground, and that means when the shovel doesn't bounce back at you, frost is out of the ground, you can plant. You can plant all the deciduous plants up until the ground freezes again, which is just fine. The only one you've got to watch is some of your perennials you want to have in by October, and then your evergreens you want to have in by about the end of September, October.
Because I've always heard that they have to be a little bit bigger if you're going to plant them later in the season, but you said that's not necessarily
Not necessarily true. You just need enough. You just need enough time for them to root in. Compost, root stimulator, watch your watering, all those things come into play.
Okay, finally we've got Amy Jo. She's up next. She says we have a lovely row of burning bush that provides privacy and a beautiful red display in the fall, but they didn't come in this year. Just a few sparse leaves. Can I help them? Can I save them?
So burning bush is one of those quintessential fall plants. It's a very soft wooded plant, and it's easy to tell if you have them because the bark is actually in a square shape, or it's winged, and that's where it comes up with its common named winged burning bush. But the wood is very soft, so there's a couple of things that can go wrong with them. Firstly, rabbits absolutely love them. And then that soft wood can sometimes fail over the winter. But if they're an established plant, you've had them for a while, I would check around the base of the plants to see if there was any damage, either from rabbits or any mechanical damage, ice falling down or breaking branches, things of that nature. And then you can give any type of wood like that the scratch test. If it scratches green, that means it's still viable, it's still living. You can prune it back to where you see green, and that will help flush out new growth. Or if it's dead, it'll be brown. Go ahead and prune all that out, and then you're left with okay, do I keep it? Do I not keep it? How's it looking?
Determined to replace or not. Finally, one more. Sandy wants to know, my peonies bloomed and now have brown...
Peonies, Hobie.
I'm sorry.
They have
Excuse
brown
me.
spots
Take
on
it
the
away,
leaves,
Kendall,
guys.
please.
They have brown spots on the leaves, some of the size of an entire quarter. Why? I love peonies, so I'm curious about this too. Brown spots. What's up with that?
Okay, not uncommon because, you know, I wasn't even going to correct you because everybody's a little bit different. It's usually it's usually a fungal problem.
Yeah, Kendall, everyone's a little bit different.
A fungicide will help do that. If you prune back, clean up all the leaves at the end of the season. If they have that, that will do do a lot for preventing it next year.
Okay, love it. Well, Dale K has got all of your answers. He's here a lot. So.
And if you miss any of his tips, we'll be posting this segment to our Facebook page. Just search for Jason Show TV.
Still to come, summer lunches for kids.
Yep, Lindsay Gensel is back with 5 great ideas to pack in your kids' lunch if they're headed off to day camp. Stay with us. Much more Jason Show coming up after the first. Thank you for sticking up for me. I'm so sorry.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back. School may be out for the summer, but there's a good chance your kids will be going to summer camp at some point in the next few weeks.
Yeah, and instead of packing them just a boring PB&J sandwich and an apple, why not get a little creative with the meal prep? Here with some great ideas and some delicious ones at that our friend Lindsay Gensel. Thank you for joining us. And you've got 5 great ideas, not just one.
I do, but I just want to clarify, none of us have kids, right?
No.
No. Which
So
is the
this is
hysterical
great.
part. So
Gotta point that out.
Oh, well.
Yep, stick with us here, I promise.
They're good
These
ideas.
are
They're good
They
ideas.
look good for adults
Yeah.
too.
And that's what I was just going to get to. So when I look at meal prepping, I am always trying to come up with creative ways to stop the boredom. And I'm one of those people, I can eat the same thing every single day, but I know for most people that is not the case.
Right.
And who gets bored more than kids, if we're being honest. So I came up with just some fun ideas. They're super easy. They're things that you can throw into the lunchbox. You know, they make these great containers now with all the individual ones.
Yes.
You know, you can put them in there without worrying about everything getting mixed up. So these are some great options to think about. Starting down here, it's just your classic pickle roll up.
Okay.
But I did a spin on it where I did pickle roll up, pepper jack cheese, and some ham. And then I swapped out the pickle for some avocado.
Oh,
So
wow.
you're getting healthy fat there. If your kid's not a pickle fan, maybe they're an avocado fan, you can throw that together. And what's great about this is I've noticed, you know, I started nannying when I was 13.
Right.
Sometimes kids are difficult eaters. They don't want to eat the
Oh, yeah.
healthy stuff. They want mac and cheese. They want chicken
want the cool
fingers.
things.
Exactly,
Right.
exactly. So putting together something that's fun, that looks nice, that they can, you know, show
a
off a
little
little
different.
bit. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a presentation.
Sure.
You know, it's a treat.
I don't know if you know this, Hobie, but I'm the eater on the show, so
Go ahead.
I'm gonna
Hand on
be
over.
I'm gonna
Hand on
eat
over.
for everyone. Okay.
Well, we'll then move on.
Taste
Okay.
test.
So I
Is
have
this an apple sandwich?
It is.
Okay.
I have to admit that until about a month ago, I did not ever think of slicing an apple that way. So slicing it like
Sure.
a piece of bread. And we had people over for Mother's Day, and we were doing a charcuterie tray, and I put my boyfriend John in charge of slicing the fruit. And the apple slices came out this way, and I thought,
That's not what I meant.
not what I meant, but it actually was awesome.
It's a great idea.
It's a great idea because then you can put cheese on it, you can put peanut butter. I've done a little combo there, so a couple of the apple sandwiches have pepper jack cheese and ham. Some have peanut butter and raisins, some have peanut butter and walnuts. You can do peanut butter and honey.
Sure.
However you want to mix it up.
That's a great idea for a charcuterie too, because instead of a cracker, you can put something like that.
Absolutely, and in today's age with everyone either not eating gluten or having
Right.
an allergy to it, it's something that is lower carb, higher fiber. It's a great option there. This one
love
right
that.
here is just super easy. It's just a kebab. It is
It's a
last
kebab.
night's leftovers.
A non-grilled kebab. There we go.
Exactly. So it's breaded chicken from the night before. There's some cheese on there, tomatoes, cucumbers. Great option. You could do a ton of different fruits, but it's something that they can eat and is not a sandwich, and they can just pick it off and eat
Sure,
what they
and you
want.
can just go one at a time if you want to be in the yard or if you're out with friends hanging out.
Well, and it's a little bit easier, especially if they're at summer camp and they want to get back to
this
their
one too,
friends.
Go ahead. I'll
just
pass
pass
it
it
on
on
down the
down
line.
the
I'll
I
pass
stole
it on
this
down the
plate.
line.
I know it's probably for something
No,
else.
it's
but,
just fine.
So
right
far
over
delicious, just so everyone knows.
Right over here, we have a cucumber sandwich. So I took cucumber, I used the mandolin slicer, the same one that I had used for the apple, just did a long slice on that. You would use this the same way if you were going to do like a zucchini lasagna. Great option there. I like it because I'm less likely to cut myself. if I don't have knives in my hand. And I just filled that with some chicken salad that I made with avocado. I just got a rotisserie chicken at home, split it all up, threw some avocado in there, garlic, salt, onion powder, wrapped it up. Again, a really great option for people who are trying to go gluten-free. I know a lot of kids these days have allergies, so you're keeping it really nice and fresh there. Lastly, my favorite, bananas in a blanket. So you've obviously probably heard of pigs in a blanket.
Sure.
This is bananas in a blanket. So these Kodiak cakes are a game changer. They're protein
heard about
pancakes.
these.
They're incredible. And what I love about them is you can add different things to it to get more protein in there. So I make these on Sunday. I batch cook them, line them up with some parchment paper in the fridge so they stay nice and fresh, take them out the morning of, load them up with some peanut butter, honey, slice up your banana, and then you just roll it like you would a taco.
And you can keep it in the fridge.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
Do you
super
ever
nice
cut
and
it
easy.
up too so that it gets that like, is it kind of gross if you
Oh
do
gosh,
that
no.
though? Okay.
No. In all honesty, I have traveled with these to WeFest and on a girls trip to Chicago. And I got everyone addicted because what's so wonderful about having the pancakes done, ready to go, is you can use them at any time during the day for breakfast, for a snack. Like I said, they're packed with protein, so they're going to be great and really filling. And you can use whatever you want on them. So I added a little cinnamon to this. I was thinking how great this would be with like a little melted brie and ham rolled up.
Or
You
put a
just
couple
had
of
me at
blueberries
cheese.
in
Yeah,
there.
absolutely.
Oh.
You just, I think for some people, they want a recipe. This is basically just opening up. These are all delicious
These are the
vessels.
possibilities.
Yeah,
Yes.
they're delicious vessels to take other things and get them into your mouth.
All right, Lindsay Gensel, thank you very much for
Thank you.
joining us. You can learn more about Lindsay and check her out, her recipe ideas at lindsaygensel.com.
You see it right there on your screen. All right, we'll be right back, everybody. I'm going to taste test these out.
And now I will partake.
That is delicious.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
As we close out this little food there.
I'm just like picking peanut butter out of my fingernails. Because honest to goodness, the cameras went off and Hobie and I just went in, you know, to all that food Lindsay made.
The pickle roll up with the avocado is really good because it tastes like a sandwich but without the bread.
I really liked that one. I loved the chicken salad with the cucumber, but honestly, my favorite, because I love peanut butter and apples, was the tiny, skinny
The little apple
slices.
sandwich?
Yeah, I think that
An
was
apple
great.
sandwich?
Especially, honestly, as women, you have little dinner parties and you want to make something cute and small like that, but a lot of women are like, I can't eat a billion carbs.
Or for guys
So-
like me, you just want to eat and then you're gonna just
Well,
leave
and
them in the fridge.
all the women like me are like, don't eat my healthy food. It's really
Or
hard to
what
make
if
that.
the fridge is just full of healthy food?
Oh, Hobie. All right. Well,
Smart.
before we go today, so we have time to lick our fingers some more. It's easier than ever to give kayaking a try on the Mississippi River.
Yeah, going kayaking is now as easy as renting a bike. Shane Wells tells us more about a new paddle share program.
Hello, Kendall, Hobie, and Jason Show friends. It's been a long time since we chatted, but I had to share this cool experience today. So, obviously you see the Ferris wheel. This is Betty Danger's, really fun spot to have drinks and eat. Now, you can also rent a kayak and kind of have this adventure in Minneapolis where you visit spots like Betty Danger's. Now, most people, we don't have our own kayaks, so this is a really cool way to do it. You'll see this big locker here, ipaddleport.com. It's part of the paddle share program. So basically you go online, you reserve your day, your time slot, you get it for 2 hours, you put in your code, it's 10 digits. I'll mess this up, so we just kind of set it up so that I can open it up and show you. So you come to your locker and bam, there's your kayak for you. Locally made in Winona, by the way. When you pull it out, and they're heavy, this is probably like a 2-person event that you should plan. You get it out, you have your paddle, you have your life jacket there for you. These compartments are really cool, I discovered, because it's where you can put stuff to keep it dry. So if you wanted to pack like a picnic, you also have little maps so you can find areas to stop and hang out. So again, this is part of the paddle share program, the Mississippi Park Connection. Really fun idea for a nice day. I didn't even know about this. Maybe you didn't either, and now you do. So we're gonna go do some paddling.
Oh gosh, that looks, honest to goodness, that looks so cool because I don't have a kayak.
I don't either. I've been thinking about buying one to go fishing around my house.
Right? It looks really neat, and she'd been at all these different
slowly
stops.
get me down that path.
I mean, you gotta paddle a little bit.
Yeah.
Flow, get your flow.
I guess.
Shane was saying that she had to go upriver, and she was just like,
It's a good workout.
Nobody tells you how hard that's gonna be.
Because it looks easy, because it looks like you're just paddling along.
It does, it does. And I mean, I really like too that you can go somewhere like Betty Dangers and you're like, hey.
A pit stop, why not?
I know, I mean, it's kind of like when you can do that with a bike or whatever. I don't know, I just think it'd be really fun.
It's a great idea.
It's a cool way to spend your day. You know what I mean? All right. Well, tomorrow on the show, Tom Butler's gonna be my co-host. I know Hobie's gonna be gone. Thank you for having fun with us.
It's been quite a pleasure.
I really appreciate it. Like, you're going to be so busy, though.
Well,
it's going to be a little bit busy next week.
Just a little bit.
All right, a local veterinarian is also going to be here tomorrow with ways to keep your pets calm during summer storms.
I need all the help I can get. Not I need all the help.
I was like,
Boris
that was really bad
help.
timing.
I'm so sorry.
Boris the dog needs help.
Boris the dog needs help,
Plus,
yes.
the woman behind Fashion Fix joins us with 3 simple ways to dress to impress. So come on over, join us tomorrow. We will be back. Thank you guys so much for watching. Appreciate it.
It's been a great experience. Yes, I am. It's shocking. We've been talking about it for so long, and now it's
Where can people send you
here.
some love? What's your Twitter handle?
Oh, at HobieFox9. That's all you got to do. Search me on Twitter. I'm there.
Send them some love.
I'll reply back. I promise.
Bye, everybody. Now you're going to get all...